He gave a powder substance to Shidera.
My daughter, the powers of the other world have heard your supplications. Go with this sham to his house tomorrow. Immediately you set eyes on him, blow this sham in his face, and his mind will be impacted permanently. He will love you and will do whatever you tell him to do.
The sorcerer said. Overjoyed, she thanked him and walked into the darkness. A brief intro. So many years ago, there lived a young man named Kwame. He was not just an ordinary man. He possessed wealth that made even the king in his village envious of his great success. He once got married to two women, Asa and Shidera, but due to the strife between his two wives on who will be their husband's favorite, they made some terrible decisions that changed the course of Kwame's life totally. Under the grip of the spell from his wife, he became impotent, and Shidera, the younger wife, quickly remarried another man, leaving Asa to bear the consequences of their mistake. So this is where our story begins. Even though Kwame still managed to go about his daily business routine, he was a broken man, struggling with the calamity plaguing him. He tried several African herbs known for curing erectile dysfunction, but all to no avail. This made Kwame fall into a state of depression and great anxiety. He can no longer eat, care for his family, or even concentrate on building his financial empire anymore. He spent most of his time drinking heavily, trying as much as possible to forget his sorrow. So one evening, out of anger, Kwame decided to end it all, seeing nothing worth living the life for. With a rope dangling from the ceiling of his bed chambers, he decided to unalive himself. But luckily enough, Asa walked in before he could commit this terrible act. In great shock at the sight before her eyes, she fell to her knees, begging her husband to step down. Sweetheart, how can you do this to me and our beautiful kids? If not for anything, consider our kids. Do you want them to grow up without a father? Asa said, crying profusely. Kwame, seeing his wife and kids solidly by his side, decided to have a change of heart, and he stepped down. Asa embraced him, whispering encouraging words in his ear as they both wept. Asa, seeing her husband in this condition, instantly regretted the role she played in her husband's plight. So that evening, with tears in her eyes and her heart filled with sorrow and remorse, she decided to confess to her husband, uncertain how Kwame will receive this news. With great determination, she approached her husband. Sweetheart, I have a confession to make. I have sinned against you and humanity, she said, tears rolling down her eyes. I am the cause of your problem, though I don't mean for it to happen this way. You stopped touching me for several months and diverted all your love and attention to Shidera, she said, sobbing. So I went to a native doctor to cast a spell that will make you impotent whenever you want to touch Shidera, but you will be active whenever you come to me. And it worked fine for some time. I'm so confused. I don't know why you are now completely impotent. Please forgive me, she said. By now, she was on her knees with tears flowing profusely down her face. To her surprise, Kwame was calm and silent. After a long silence, Kwame finally took a deep breath and replied,
My wife, I'm the root cause of the calamities we are facing. If I had stuck to you, all these complications could have been avoided. My wealth and influence got into my head, and they neglected and relegated you and our children to the background. I forgot the days of our humble beginnings.
Kwame responded with a maturity that surprised Asa.
Well, I have forgiven you. Now that I know the cause of the ailment, we will find the solution. As far as you promise to stay by my side all through this ordeal.
With newfound strength and purpose, they both embark on a mission to find a lasting solution to Kwame's plight. And the first point of call, obviously, was the native doctor that prepared the spear for Asa to see if he could reverse the spear. But it was there at the man's shrine they made a discovery that shocked them to their bone marrow. The shrine was deserted and overgrown with grass. They were surprised and taken aback. A passerby informed them that the native doctor was no more. He had passed away after suffering from a mysterious ailment. This news was just too bitter for them to bear, but they had no other option but for them to look elsewhere for solution. They consulted many herbalists and traditional healers of great reputation from far and wide. He drank bitter herbs and was made to pass through the meaning of this, but all to no avail. He made several sacrifices of goats and cows to the deities of the land, but his condition became even worse. With no solution in sight, Kwame finally decided to accept his fate. Maybe the deities were just punishing him for his past misdeed. He decided to live a happy life regardless of his impotence. He dedicated his time to taking very good care of Asa and their two daughters. Once more, there was joy and laughter in his home. Above all, he started doing great acts of charity to his community, which brought great joy to the people in the kingdom. He used his great wealth and immense influence to support the poor widows and orphans. He expanded his businesses and employed more people. He bought several vessels. With these ships, he carried goods across the ocean to distant lands, and in return, he also bought goods that the kingdom needed and supplied to the people and the neighboring kingdom, putting food on the tables of hundreds of homes in the kingdom. This brought great joy and prosperity to the people. The king, so glad, rewarded him with the highest chieftaincy title in the kingdom, next to the king, much to the joy of the people. Kwame's faith and authority knew no bound. Just when all was moving smooth and fine, Faith had other plans for our friend Kwame. One cold night, everywhere silent, and the whole land was asleep. In the dead of night, he had a dream. In the vision of night, a very old sage appeared to him, his hair white from great age. He called him,
Kwame, your good deeds have gone up to the heavens. The prayers of the widows and the oppressed have been received, and your days of trouble are over.
He said in a calm voice. Kwame woke up from his slumber that night to a great shock. His Odogu that have been docile for a long time was standing erect, like a well-trained soldier standing at attention with great joy. Kwame served it out to Asa that night. Much to the joy and jubilation from Asa and Kwame, Asa got pregnant once more, and Kwame, though overjoyed, kept this pregnancy a well-guided secret, known only within the four corners of his mansion. With his dignity back, Kwame piloted the affairs of his empire with newfound strength and agility. After 9 months, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. This was great news because the birth of a male child is very significant according to the tradition of the kingdom in the ancient time. Kwame's happiness knew no bounds. Finally, he now have a heir to inherit his great wealth and pass it on to the next generation. Out of great joy, he threw a great ceremony to celebrate the arrival of his newborn child. The news of the arrival of his newborn child spread like wildfire, and great dignitaries and royalties from neighboring kingdoms all came to celebrate Kwame. Well, this was when things started going south quickly for Kwame. Shida, Kwame's runaway wife, who had forsaken him during his darkest hour, suddenly showed up. She too had heard the news of Asa's newborn child. Hey, before we jump right back into the story, today's massive hug goes to Miss Maureen, watching our videos from London. Thanks for the love and support. Where are you watching our video from? Type it in the comment section so I can send you a hug in our next video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Anita Chocolates. Alright, back to the story. Chidera too heard the news of Asa's newborn child, and now she is aware the curse on Kwame must have been lifted. She came back, pleading for Kwame to accept her back. She knelt down, begging Kwame for forgiveness. My love, I am sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please accept me back. After I left, the man I got married to became broke. He can't take good care of me, and he spent most of his days drinking. When I complain, he beats me up, she said, shedding some crocodile tears. Please accept me back. I promise never to leave you again, no matter the circumstances, she said. For a brief moment, there was a loud silence. Then finally, Kwame replied her.
Shidera, you showed your true color when I needed you most. You forgot all I did for you. I ran off to be with another man. Immediately I started facing challenges. Well, I have forgiven you.
Kwame said. Shidera looked up with newfound hope in her eyes, but Kwame continued.
But I cannot accept you back. Go back and be with your husband. You are meant to weather the storms of life with him. That is what a good wife should do.
He said.
Leave my presence, and I don't ever want to set eyes on you again.
He thundered, just as he was about to order his servants to throw her out. Asa walked in. She has been eavesdropping on their conversation from her private chamber, so she told her husband, my husband, thanks for not falling for a sheep's stunt and a move to come back to you. Now that you are whole, I'm grateful for your love and sincerity towards me and our children, Asa said, patting her husband gently on his shoulder. But please forgive her betrayal. Don't just send her away empty-handed. We have been blessed with so much wealth that we know what to do with. Please give her goats to trade with and some portion of land her husband can farm on so that they can escape lack and poverty, Asa said, wishing the best for Shidera, even though she almost destroyed her home, a testament to Asa's big heart. After much thought, Kwame had a change of heart and decided to bless her with gold and land property to take them out of poverty. Shidera thanked them profusely and left, but even though she showed a great joy outwardly, deep down in her heart, she harbored some sinister intention. Imagine this useless woman who called herself Asa, behaving as if the whole world is under her feet. Shidera mused angrily to herself. Imagine her bragging. Give her some gold and land so they will not suffer. Did I tell her I'm suffering? Why should I be content with little crumbs from Kwame's wealth when I can have him all to myself? Shidera soliloquized to herself with a sinister intention. In the dead of night, she approached a wicked sorcerer, notorious for casting the darkest of spells. She requested for a spell that will make Quame develop an intense hatred for Asa and her children and pursue them out of his home. A spell that will make him develop a great love for her, a love passion like no other. The sorcerer consulted the dark powers of his shrine, speaking some strange incantation. He gave a powder substance to Shidera.
My daughter, the powers of the other world have heard your supplications. Go with this sham to his house tomorrow. Immediately you set eyes on him, blow this sham in his face, and his mind will be impacted permanently. He will love you and will do whatever you tell him to do.
The sorcerer said. Overjoyed, she thanked him and walked into the darkness. So the next day, Shidera went to Kwame's house to execute this evil plan. For her to enter the house was not a problem. Already, the servants see her as a family friend of some sort due to the great precious gift bestowed on her by Kwame recently. At the main chamber of the mansion, Kwame and Asa were surprised to see Shidera again so soon. They were genuinely worried, thinking maybe she had been robbed of her newfound prosperity. Unknowing to them, Shidera was holding a very potent charm in her fist, a charm that had the ability to alter the course of Kwame's life completely and bring great sorrow to Asa and her children. When Shidera came very close to them, in a swift motion, she brought the charm out. As she was about to blow the charm into Kwame's face, something strange happened. She felt a strange force hold her still. In that moment, she fell into a trance. In this vision, she saw an old sage appear before her with a glaring light about him.
Shidera, your days of misdeed and wickedness are over. The person you are trying to harm is protected by the heavens, and he is invisible. The prayers of the old widows and orphans are speaking for him every day.
The sage said. At that moment, the charm fell from her hand and she became uncomfortable immediately. She ran out of Kwame's house into the village square, screaming at the top of her voice. Kwame and Asa also followed her into the village square, perplexed at what just happened. There at the village square, Shidera made some confession to the shock of everyone. Please forgive me. I made my husband impotent because he was no longer touching me, but rather was always with Asa. Then I ran off with another man. Now that Kwame is well, I went back but he rejected me, only giving me gold and land. So out of anger, I prepared a sham to destroy his home and make him love me and do all my instructions, she said, crying. At that moment, she started tearing her hair because she could not apply the charm correctly. It was now having a negative effect on her. She ran mad and roamed the streets of the kingdom, insane and greatly disturbed. The news of Shidera's evil plot spread far and near. Until today, the mothers use her story to warn and teach their young daughters. Don't behave like Shidera when you get to your husband's house. They will warn them. As for Kwame and Asa, they became even more popular and prosperous after the old saga. Their love for each other and their kindness to the people knew no bound. They live happily together till their ripe old age, well-respected figures. Thanks for watching this story from Anita Chocolate. We have noticed 90% of our viewers are not yet subscribed. Please smash the subscription button to join this amazing global family. Please turn on the notification bell to see our future video. Like and share with your loved ones. See you in our next episode. Bye.